Okay, yesterday we went over multiplication comparisons, and you guys had to do page 459 in your math workbook. So we're going to just go over that quickly and then continue talking about multiplication comparisons, okay? So for number 1, when it says 4 times as many as 7, what does that mean, Javan? 4 times 7. So down here, you would put 4 times 7. On the blanks, you would have 7s. Okay? So it's kind of like a strip diagram when you do it like this, right? Because strip diagrams, we do the boxes. So that means 4 groups or boxes of 7. Okay? So think of it kind of like a strip diagram. 5 times as many as 3 would have been 5 times 3. So what goes on the blue lines? 3s. 5 3s. Okay? Now for 3 through 6, you had to just fill in the blanks for blank times as many as blank. So for 7 times 6, it would be 7 times as many as 6. 8 times 5, 8 times as many as 5. 3 times 8, 3 times as many as 8. 9 times 2, 9 times as many as 2. Okay, so it just goes in the same order as the multiplication problem. Okay, number 7, the store has 4 times as many. So when I hear that, I should automatically think what?
Times.
4 times. Good. 4 times as many whistles as yo-yos. Write a multiplication expression to represent the number of whistles compared to yo-yos. So we need to look at the yo-yos, which is up here. So I would do 4 times what, Evangeline? 12. Okay? And since they're saying expression, that means you don't need to put the equal sign and what it equals. You just needed to put this part. Okay, so an expression looks like this with no equal sign. Okay, number 8, write a comparison statement about the wind-up ducks that could be described using the expression 10 times 5. Okay, well, we know we need to put 10 times as much, right? But we see over here, if we look at the wind-up ducks, they equal what? 5. So there's where the 5 is coming from. So I could say there are 10 times as many tops as wind-up ducks. Okay? Wind-up ducks had to be what we put in there because that's where the 5 is coming from. Okay? Number 9. The toy store has 8 times as many, so I need to circle that. 8 times as many soccer balls as spinning tops. Write a multiplication expression to represent the number of soccer balls compared to spinning tops. Okay, so we need to put 8 times, and then what do we need to multiply it by?
3.
3, good, because it's spinning tops that goes last. So spinning tops equals 3, so that's where that number is coming from. Okay, 8 times 3. Okay, now the back side. Number 10, Evelyn sells 5 boxes of greeting cards. Sam sells 3 times as many as Evelyn. Which expression represents the number of boxes that Sam has compared to Evelyn? Okay, Sam sells 3 times as many, so we need to put Sam first. 3 times as much as Evelyn. And Evelyn has how many? 5. So 3 times 5. You should have automatically eliminated B and C because it's not multiplying. A is wrong because we don't have 5 times 5 times 5. It's 3 times 5. Okay. Number 11. Caitlin collects 6 bottle caps for a prize. Jen collects 4 times as many as Caitlin. Which expression represents the number of bottle caps that Jen collects compared to Caitlin? So 4 times as many
6.
As Caitlin, which is 6. So A is definitely one we can eliminate.
Yeah.
These
No.
should have been pretty obvious also because we don't do 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. You only need to do 4 times 6. Okay? Number 12. Farrah has 18 crowns. John's crowns can be represented by 2 times 18. Which comparison statement describes the expression? Okay? Well, we know when it has 2 times, then we need to say 2 times as many, right? Okay, well, A says 18 more than 2. What does 18 more than 2 mean? Would you add or multiply? Add. So 18 more means plus 18. So eliminate that one. 2 more than 18 means what? Add plus 2. 2 fewer means what? Subtract 2. So the only one that has 2 times is B. Okay? Same thing. You had 3 times 9. So I know it can't be 3 more because what does that mean? Add 3. 9 more means add 9. 3 times as many. Does that work? 3 times as many as 9? Yes. 3 fewer means subtract 3. Okay? I'm going over these because it's still important that you know that. Okay? So C was the correct answer. Okay, last two. 14 was a multi-step problem. So Bev has 5 books. She buys 3 more. Let's just look at what that means right there. If she has 5 books and buys 3 more, what does that mean? What type of problem? Anybody?
She adds.
You add 3. So if she has 5 and buys 3 more, you're going to add 3, right? So Bev now has 8 books. Okay? Dell has 3 times as many books as Bev. Which expression represents the number of books that Dell has compared to Bev? Okay, so now you need to do 3 times as many books as Bev. Well, Bev has how many books?
8.
8. Okay, B should have been obvious. The only thing that might have been correct or looked correct is the 3 times 5 if you forgot to add 3 books. Okay? Okay, but it wasn't 3 times 5. What was it?
3 times 8.
3 times 8. So A is correct. Okay, last one. Ryan has 5 crowns. He gets 4 more. So what does that mean? He gets 4 more. What would you do? Add 5 plus 4. So now Ryan has 9 crowns. Cindy has 6 times as many crowns as Ryan. So that would be 6 times what?
9.
9. B was correct. Okay, A should have been obvious because definitely not adding 9 plus 6. Okay, any questions on any of those? Did we do a good job? Okay, good. Now we're going to do a few more practice problems, and then you guys are going to have your assignment continuing practicing multiplication. Okay, so here's where we're going to start with this problem right here. It says Jack has 4 quarters. Jill has twice as many quarters as Jack. So we need to figure out how much Jill has. So first, we need to write our number sentence. So when it says twice as many, what should automatically pop in your head? What does twice mean? What number? 2, 3, 4, 5. Allie? 2. Okay, good. So twice as many, you should be thinking 2 times.
Oh, 8.
Okay, so we would say 2 times as many as Jack. Well, Jack has 4. Okay, now we're going to solve to figure out how many quarters Jill has. So Jill, if we do 2 times 4, that's the same thing as doing 2 4s. 4 plus 4. What is that? 8. So Jill has 8 quarters. Make sure you are writing the number sentence and boxing your answer. Okay? Next one, over here. Hansel ate 5 lollipops. Gretel ate 4 times as many lollipops as Hansel. So circle 4 times. Okay, so how many lollipops would Gretel have eaten if she ate 4 times as many lollipops as Hansel? So first, let's write our number sentence. Who can tell me what I should write? David? What does this mean?
4 times as many as 5.
Good. 4 times as many as 5. So 4 times 5. And then we need to put our answer. So 4 times 5 equals what? 20. Good. Box your answer. Okay. Next one. Old Macdonald had 6 pigs on his farm. He had 3 times more chickens than pigs. So how many chickens would he have if he has 3 times more? What would I do for my number sentence? Evangeline? 3 times 6. Okay? So if you don't know your 3s or your 6s, you would just skip count. So if I'm skip counting by 3s, I would go 6 times. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So 18. And then box your answer. Okay? Those of you at home, you could be just following along using your math notebook, writing these, not writing the whole problem, but writing the number sentence. You could pause the video and try to write the number sentence before me. If you don't want to use your notebook, you can be using a dry erase board or mat that you have at home. Okay? Next one. Chip collected 3 acorns. Dell collected 10 times the amount. Okay? So how much did Dale collect? What would my number sentence be? Javea? 10 times what? 3. Good. What is 10 times 3, class?
30.
30. Good. And then box your answer. Okay, you got the hang of it?
Can I read the next one?
Okay, Allie, go ahead. You want to read the next one?
Chip collected 10 acorns. Dale collected triple the amount of acorns as Chip.
Okay, triple the amount. What does that mean?
Triple the amount of 2.
Of 10, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Triple the amount of 10, but what is triple? What number would I use for tripling something? You know, Allie? What is it?
10.
No. For triple?
Oh, 20.
Think of triplets. If somebody says they're having triplets, how many babies is that?
2.
No, that's twins. 3. So triple means 3. If you get a triple in baseball, you go to the third base. Triple means 3. Okay? So 3 times 10 would be what? 30. Okay, I want you guys to do these last 3. So read these on your own. As I come around, I want to see your number sentence. Okay, and your answer with a box around it. Okay, so all these last 3 we're going to try on our own. Number sentence with the answer. Okay, Jack has 2 quarters. We're checking now, so those of you at home, if you have not finished solving these, go ahead and continue working and pause this video. But now we're going to check. Jack has 2 quarters. Jill has 4 times as many. So I hear that. I need to put 4 in front, 2 in back. 4 times 2 is 8. Good. Hansel ate 4 lollipops. Gretel ate 5 times as many lollipops as Hansel. So 5 times, when I hear that, I think 5 needs to go in front, and then 4. Okay. Old Macdonald had 3 pigs on his farm. He had 6 times, oh, I didn't tell y'all the answer. What's 5 times 4? 20. Good. He had 6 times more chickens than pigs. So 6 times the amount of pigs, which was 3. So 6 times 3 is 18. Okay? Now your assignment is going to look like this. So pretty much the same thing. You have the same type of problem where it says twice as many or 5 times as many. Okay? So set up the number sentence and work it out. But there's some in here that are going to look a little different. Okay, right here. Now here's where it might get a little more challenging because you actually need to know which part of the number sentence goes with which person. Okay? So I'm going to pass these out and we're going to look at a couple together before you start. Okay? Mainly these because we haven't seen these yet. Okay? So those of you at home, you can go ahead and open your assignment on Seesaw and go to number 7. Kaysen read 7 books. Brazos read more books than Kaysen. The number of books Brazos read compared to, and that should say Kaysen, can be represented by the expression below. Okay? So here's where it gets a little tricky. You need to know who is 4 times and who is actually 7. Who read 7 books? Go back and read through. Kaysen did. It tells you right here that Kaysen read 7 books. So I want you to circle the 7. And you need to label that Kaysen, or you could just put a C. So if Brazos read more books than Kaysen, then that means he must have read what? 4 times more. Okay? So now we need to label this part who? Brazos. Okay, so 4 times as many would be Brazos. So we would say Brazos read 4 times as many books as Kaysen, who read 7 books. Okay, so now your job is to figure out which answer choice says what we just labeled. Okay, so let's look at A. It says Kaysen read 4 times the number of books as Brazos read. No, because Kaysen didn't read 4 times. He read 7. That's why we labeled it. Okay? So Kaysen did not read 4 times, so we need to eliminate A. Does everybody understand that so far? Devea? Okay. B. Brazos read 7 times the number of books Kaysen read. What was wrong with that one?
It says 7 times.
It says 7 times. What should it say?
4 times.
4 times. Good. So B is incorrect. Okay, C. Brazos read 4 times the number of books Kaysen read.
Yeah.
We think that one's the right one? Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and just look at D too, and y'all tell me what's wrong with it. Kaysen read 7 times the number of books Brazos read. What's wrong with that? Evangeline?
Kaysen's supposed to be at the end and Brazos is supposed to be at the front, and so 7 times is supposed to be 4.
Good. 7 times needs to be 4 times. And then Kaysen didn't read times anything. It was Brazos because Kaysen read 7. Okay? So now I want you guys to try to do number 8, labeling the person that goes with the number in the number sentence, okay? So just look back at number 7 on how we did it and try to figure out what goes with number 8. So when it says 4 times at the beginning with the symbol, then the words we write should be what? 4 times. So even if we just knew that part, I can still work with my answer choices and eliminate some, right? Which ones can I eliminate right off the bat just by knowing this 4 times? Evangeline?
A and C.
No. A, because it says 10 times. B, because it says 10 times. Okay, I'm going to keep these 2 because they both say 4 times. Okay, now we need to figure out which name goes where. So if it says David has 10 Pokemon cards, then that means David is the 10. So I need to label that as 10. Who has 4 times? Bryson. Bryson has 4 times as many. So if it says David has 4 times the number of Pokemon cards as Bryson, is that correct? No, David doesn't have 4 times. David only has 10. Okay. Bryson has 4 times the number of Pokemon cards as David.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So are there any questions on those types of problems before we start? Do we need one more example? Are you guys good? Okay. So now what you're going to do is complete the rest. There's 10 problems. So go all the way to 10. Okay. Make sure that you are writing on 1 through 7, 1 through 6. You are writing a number sentence and an answer like this. Okay. And I need you to box your final answer. Okay?